Anointed ones, welcome to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Minister Mongoose, and where this is a holistic mind, body, and spirit ministry that addresses everything that we believe to be substantive and relevant to the path and journey of anointed ones. So, just a little bit of upfront disclosure about the ministry, what it's all about. Welcome again, anointed ones, my fellow anointed ones. I value each and every single one of you guys. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep on pushing on in faith and keep on hoping on in love. This is what we know to be referred to as the Great Commission. This is our divine assignment, guys. Couple things I want to point out as we get into today's message, which we're talking about. You know, you read the title. That's what we're talking about, guys. Divine restoration. Before I get into that topic, guys, I want to just encourage you guys to, as I mentioned, just keep fighting the good fight, man. Keep fighting the good fight. Don't do anything except fight, fight, fight. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to be discouraged. It's okay to cry. It's not okay to give up. That's the only thing we are prohibited from doing, which is giving up. So continue to fight the good fight, guys, and know that divine restoration is coming. Keep fighting, guys. Finish the race. Finish the race. Our greatest desire is to hear him say, "Well done, thou loyal and faithful servant." Only those who endure to the end will see salvation, will enter into the kingdom, will enter into their promised land and receive their divine restoration. I want you guys to know it's coming. This is a prophetic message. And I know it. Some of you guys have been fighting for long periods of time. Fighting in different areas, sometimes on multiple fronts. Fighting for your children. They're not living the way that you raised them up to be. They're out there living like some kind of hooligans that didn't have any good, solid, clean-hearted upbringing. You've been battling for them. You've been fighting for them. Keep fighting. It's okay for you to do any and everything. Don't give up. Don't lose the faith. Don't quit on him, because he's not going to quit on you. I'm going to be giving you guys some Bible precepts and some examples of how sometimes miracles take time, guys. This is nothing new to us. It's something that we just lose sight of. We know that sometimes miracles take time. But you still know that that word that you got, that wasn't something you thought up. That wasn't something you imagined. That's not something you researched and was exciting to you and you studied and took it on as a truth. No, you know that good word, that promise that he gave to you. You know it came directly from him. Keep fighting, guys. Divine restoration is coming. And for those of you who may have already received divine restoration, it's now incumbent upon you to stand tall, to stand firm, and inspire, motivate, teach, guide, encourage, and nourish those who are yet awaiting the divine restoration. He didn't bring you through just for you. He brought you through for others as well. You know the story of the fig tree. When this tree, he came across this tree, this person that we most commonly refer to called Christ, he came across this tree that was in season. And it didn't have any figs on it. And to paraphrase what he said was, you know what? You got some kind of doggone nerves, Mr. Tree. I done planted you in good soil and gave you the sunshine and the rain and everything that you need to come to a full-blown fig tree and to produce figs. And now when I'm hungry, you ain't got nothing to give back. And he cursed that tree and it withered up. Don't be that guy or girl. You were raised up. You were processed and nourished and brought through so that you can now produce figs and give back. Keep that in mind, guys. Let that stand as both motivation and warning to not be that guy. And be motivated to be the other guy, the other girl that says, hey, yeah, I made it through, but not just for me. I must give back. Be that guy or girl. And to my spiritual family members who have not yet received your divine restoration, let's take a listen to this word. Let's take a look into this word divine. You know, if you broke that down and you assessed it and analyzed it from its root source, the etymological meaning of that word, divine, it literally means to achieve something, to accomplish something, to do something, to receive something that's outside of what we believe, what we think from a normal expectancy standpoint is even possible. So if I'm looking at it from this inside the box perspective about what's possible, what can be achieved, what can be done, inside that box is not divine. Divine is being able to say, hey, look, even though it doesn't make sense, it's not logical, it's not practical, it's divine. Divine restoration is coming to you. Don't lose sight of how long it's been taken. Don't look at, hey, you've cleaned this up in your life. You've made this change. You're living a holy, consecrated life. You've been doing this for all this time. And yet the issue remains. You have not received that restoration as of yet. Don't be discouraged, guys. Do not be discouraged. We talk a lot as needed when it comes to having enemies, haters, adversaries. Let me be clear. If you have what I refer to as rats inside the nest, you got a narcissistic spouse, narcissistic parents, children, people on the job, people that are in your inner circle, and you're dealing with these people each and every day, it could take twice as long, and it may be twice as hard. But it's all a part of his plan. It's all a part of his preparation. for it to take so long? I'm going to give you an example of that. I'm going to give you an example of why sometimes he puts or allows to be put haters in your path. And why he keeps them there for so long. You've been trying to leave that job for darn near 30 years. And even though you got the resume, the experience, the expertise, you got everything you need to get a better job, or at least a job that pays the same in a different company. For whatever reason, it doesn't work out. For 30 years, you're like, what is going on? His divine plan, his divine will for your life. You just need to know that his promise is eternal and irreversible. When you have these snakes in your circle, it's for a reason. It's for a purpose. And they can do nothing to stop divine restoration. See, sometimes you got that boss on your job. You got those clowns in your neighborhood. And you're having to what we refer to as eat crow. Because you're making all the positive changes. You're making all the positive, genuine self improvements. You've changed your attitude. You've changed the way you treat people, all for the better. And yet these people are devolving. They're becoming worse and worse and worse each and every day in terms of the way they treat people, who they really are. And they seem to be the ones getting the promotions. They're getting a break. They done changed jobs 5 or 6 times and seemingly getting a promotion every time. What is going on? His divine will and purpose for your life. Eat that crow. Eat that crow. Good book says, let patience have its purpose, knowing that it's the trying, the testing, the proving, and the refining of your soul. All they got don't amount to a hill of beans of what all you're going to get. Literally, it doesn't matter. It's like comparing your bottle of fine aged wine to a grape stain. Can't compete no kind of way. Let them have the so-called come-ups. The good book says that the wealth of the wicked is saved up for the righteous. You just have to keep being righteous. Don't get a corrupt spirit. Don't get a defeated spirit. And don't be tricked into walking by sight. Hey, well, it looks this way. I'm making all the positive changes, but they're seemingly getting all the positive results. We don't walk by sight. We walk by faith. And he has promised you what he has promised you. And regardless of how long it's taken, the good book goes on to say that he, this thing we most commonly refer to as God, will restore all that the locusts, meaning the haters, he will restore all that the locusts and all that time had sought to steal from you. I'm going to say it again. He will restore all that the locusts and time had sought to steal from you. That clearly tells you Their little so-called come-ups and advances, they ain't stealing from you. It's all poppycock. It's all an illusion. He's going to restore you some 5, some 10, some 100, and some of you even 1,000-fold. Through divine restoration. You don't plant orange seeds and then stand around and, oh God, please let it be oranges. Please let it be oranges. Don't let it be apples. Don't let it be pineapples. Please let it be oranges. He has given you a word, and what's for you is for you. Keep on keeping on in faith. Keep on hoping on in love. And know that sometimes miracles take time. I'm going to give you guys a couple examples of that. We're going to get on up out of here. To keep you inspired, to keep you motivated, to keep you focused on His promise. Let's give an example about Abraham. What's so potent about Abraham's story is that, as most of you guys are familiar with, he had to wait 25 years for his promise. He was promised a son. And this thing that we call God told him that by way of you having this son, your generations is going to be like the like the stars in the sky. Now you go outside and you try to count the stars. You go outside at nighttime and look around and see where there aren't any stars on the night when the stars can be born. No, there's a star here, a star there, a star everywhere. Can't count them all. You'll fall off the planet Earth because wherever you go, it's still going to be stars. That was a promise that He gave Abraham. And what's so beautiful, what's so powerful about it is Abraham was 75 years of age when he got that promise. 75. And he questioned this thing we call God. Like, man, are you sure? 75 years of age here. I know you know that, but do you know that? He was 75 years of age when he got that promise, man. And he had to wait 25 years. Yeah, we know he was 100 years old. 25 years of waiting. 25 years of waiting while knowing, hey, man, you promised me this when I was 75, sir. Now I'm 80. Now I'm 85. Now I'm 90. Now I'm 95. What is going on? Let patience have its work. See. And just like the promise was given to him, the promise was fulfilled. All that time, all that waiting, he got divine restoration. He got his promise. You can't go nowhere on this planet and say Abraham and people don't know who you're talking about. 25 years. How long have you been waiting? How long have your faith been tested, tried? Because 25 years is a pretty long time. It's even that much more longer for somebody who started out waiting from 75 years of age. Come on, guys. Keep the faith. Divine restoration is headed your way. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Not the haters, not the enemies, not Father Time. You just have to keep right on believing. I got another example for you guys. This was going to address a little bit more when it, the aspect, or a little bit more when it, or it's going to address the aspect a little bit more when it comes to the enemies and why not only are you waiting, but you also got these enemies you got to deal with. You all know this story just as I do. It's the children of Israel. Promise, a land full of milk and honey. But boy, was they test put to the faith. Was they faith put to the test. 40 years in the desert. You take 3 seconds and you think about that. Not just 40 years, but 40 years in a desert. And I know they were not desert bearing people, but we know the conditions of Egypt at that time, so we know they were well accustomed to the heat. But being outside all the time, no water in the desert. There's no shelter in the desert other than the shelter that they built when they established their camps at night. They had shelter back there with Pharaoh. They had water, comforts, that came with them being in a stable environment and not always moving. They were in a desert 40 years dealing with that hot sun. 40 years. And to make that even that much more jacked up, they had this thing we call manna. Which was said to have tasted awful. Just as bland. Some of the ancient teachings say it was like eating dirt. Dry, no taste in it. 40 years. All the water they got to, they had to trust totally on God. And then when they got to their promised land, they had to fight these giants. What are we talking about? What's going on here? See? You got some giants in your life. That right before you entered into that promised land, after they 40 years, they finally said, okay, that's the promised land. Thank God. We're there 40 years. We're out in the desert. Let's charge into the promised land. Nope. There were giants that greet them. They said, hey man, we went peeped over the mountain down into the valley, into the promised land, man, and we saw some giants, man. And we was like grasshoppers in comparison to these guys. The size, when we looked up at these guys, we were the size of grasshoppers. Well, guess no promised land for us. There's no way we can defeat these guys. We got a ragtag group of people that's not even warriors or soldiers that been drifting around in the desert for 40 years. We can't compete against these people. What people are you having to compete against? That narcissistic spouse, children, parents, neighbors, the haters, the people that try to shoot your reputation through the grease, excommunicate you, boycott your company. What giants are you battling against that when you look at them, you say, man, there's no way that I can, in my own power, overcome that. You're not dealing with your power. It's a divine restoration that's operating in your life, that's been promised to you. Lean not on your own understanding. See, when you lean on your own understanding, you can get discouraged. You can lose sight. You can lose focus. You could become confused. You could start going into doubt and all these different things. But when you take time, as often as you can throughout the day, throughout the night, you roll over in the middle of the night, you roll over in the middle of the AM, right before you go to bed, stuck in traffic, as often as you can, you keep bringing yourself back to the promise that you know in your heart of hearts came from him. You focus on that. The good book says, those who think on these things all day, the good things, the promises of the Lord. I'm going to give you guys another example, but if you thought 25 years was long, and it was, how about 40 years? Literal years, 40 literal years. This is not make-believe. In a hot, stormy, scorching desert. The only shade they had was to follow this, whatever this means to you. There's different biblical and philosophical interpretations on it, but they had to follow this cloud by day, whatever that cloud was to you. They had to follow this cloud by day and this cloud by night. 40 years. I mean, some of them kids were born, and that's all they knew. All the way up to they was 40 years old. That means some of them was 30. And if they lived that long, they was 70 years old. 40 years. And if you thought 25 was long, and if you think 40 was long, let's take a look at Noah. Good book says it took Noah anywhere from 75 to 100 years to build the ark. Now you take 3 seconds and you think about that. How long have you been fighting? How long have you been battling? How long have you been believing? How long have you been prophesying? How long have you been working on yourself? How long have you been trusting in God? Because something tells me it ain't been 75 to 100 years. Something tells me it may not have been 40, may not even been 25. See. 75 to 100 years. And this is when we're gonna focus a little bit more on the doubters, the discouragers, the skeptics, the critics, the killjoys. 75 years to 100 years. Now that's another 25 years, people. I may not be, the world's greatest mathematician, but something tells me that's another 25 years. 75 to 100 years of being laughed at, talked about, doubted, discouraged, shamed, mocked. You're doing what, Mr. Noah? Keep in mind, guys, it had never rained over there before. They was familiar with mist and mist only. It had never rained over there. The mist and the moisture and the dew is all they'd ever experienced. That's what's kept their rivers running and kept their vegetation going. It was never rained over there. What are we talking? Can you imagine the ridicule, the shaming, the laughter for 75 to 100 years? Telling them, hey man, this is what I'm going to do. It's beneficial. And the promise that's been given me is that me and my kids and anybody who follow us, anybody that wants to help put in this work, anybody that comes along with us, we're going to be saved. We're going to get that divine restoration. We're going to get that promised land. So y'all laughing and doubting and mocking and shaming and spreading all the rumors and doing the character assassinations and all this different stuff, it's going to be divinely restored in a way that where everybody's going to know that it's him. Everybody knew, hey man, yeah, that's God in Abraham's life, because that dude 100 years old, man. He had a healthy baby boy. Ain't no doubt that that's God. Ain't no doubt that these people been rolling around in the desert for 40 years and then going to a promised land, and right before they can enter into there, they had to go to battle against some giants. Oh, that's not them. That's not their strength. That's not their courage. It's not their bravery. That's the God in them. There's something divine at work in their life. I'm at 30 minutes, guys. Let me get out of here. Noah, 75 to 100 years old. I'm talking about, was working on that ark 75 to 100 years. And when his divine restoration came, it was for him and the people that mocked, that laughed, that shamed, that did all of that. The wealth of the wicked is saved up for the righteous. So let them talk. Let them laugh. Let them get these make-believe promotions. Let them try and sabotage your company. Eat that crow if you have to. Keep walking in that desert if you have to. Keep getting older and older if you have to. Keep being laughed at, mocked, and shamed. Keep on. It doesn't matter. Divine restoration. That's your birthright. Speak it. Believe it. Receive it. It's yours. You know it came from him. Reach out to this ministry if I could be of service to you guys. I had given you guys my words that I keep these to 30 minutes as best I could. I'm at 31:30 now, so let me get out of here. Remember, this is a holistic mind, body, and spirit ministry. If you're interested in a holistic path to health and wellness as it relates to the mental you, the physical you, and the spiritual you, then I invite you to watch a video message that's titled MBS Service Tutorial. Pardon me. If you have any questions or any interest in the services, I'm going to leave an email link down in the description box. You can, excuse me, you can contact the ministry. I love the opportunity to speak with you. Please visit the physical fitness branch of the ministry located at mountfitnessmbs.com. And please watch a separate video that's titled My Testimony and Disclosure. If you need or if you prefer to have an occasional courtesy reminder that he's still on the throne. He's not just this God in the Bible in ancient times in the Quran. He's the same God. He's the same God. He's still on the throne, still performing miracles, guys, still going to deliver you your divine restoration. If you'd like to be reminded of things such as that, then watch a video that's titled My Testimony and Disclosure. Please hit the share button on that video as well as this video, guys. And if you'd like to give back to this ministry, you can send out a prophetic message to the universe. You can add strength, power to this message by subscribing to the channel if you aren't already subscribed, hitting the share button. That's the most important of all in my view, hitting the share button, but then also hitting the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. And I believe that's everything there, guys. If you'd like to make a monetary donation to show your thanks, appreciation, and to make another or a separate or send out a separate or an additional prophetic message to the universe, you can make a monetary donation. I'll leave a Cash App link down in the description box. I believe that's everything. Hey, listen, give according to your heart, give according to your wallet, give according to his will. You can send a penny, you can send $1, you can send $100, whatever the Holy Spirit moves you to do. But keep in mind, this is a mind, body, and spirit ministry, and that regardless of what's going on in your place, in your life, you are anointed to make sure that your mind, your body, and your spirit remains as beautiful, as vibrant, and as healthy as possible. This ministry has been anointed to help you to achieve such purpose. Reach out if I could be of assistance. That's everything. I love you guys whose hearts are in the right place. I am Brother Minister Mongoose, and I will holler back. Peace.